welcome everybody. Everybody, it's like 10 people in here. Saltwater, good to see that you are back. Sorry for the 24-hour ban there. That was an accident. You are one of my greatest supporters on this channel, and I appreciate you. Can you guys hear me okay on there? Okay, yeah, I thought good. We're good. Robert, how are you? Miss Craig, how are you? Good evening. And yes, we do have a few uh, current events, as they say. Well, new current events for me, it's more people trying to threaten my life. Um, what are we to do? People just can't handle the truth. It's that simple. I've been telling you guys. You guys are my witness. I've been telling you guys that everything that these Democrats throw against Trump, it's just going to come back and bite them in the ass. It already is. Mercam, welcome to the chat. I see you like coconuts. I'm glad that you like coconuts. Some people still don't know what that means, but it's all good. Today, that actually matches me with my brown sweater and my light skin. All right, well, I love that you guys are here. I'm glad that you guys can make it. We're going to wait a few more minutes on here. Wait to see if we can get a few more people. We got a few people watching, but we'll go ahead and wait just a little bit. I want to say hello to everybody that is on here. My fam down is love you, Patriot. Man, that's right, baby. We are a family, aren't we? We are very dysfunctional, but we are family. Jay, so you like Trump? Yes, absolutely. I think that would be a little bit obvious. This channel is a MAGA channel. I am 100% Trump supporter. See, anything that people come in here and say, if it's not true, I can't just go with that. That's not enough. That's not good enough for me. There's got to be some facts, like real facts, not just I say facts and that's it. No. But don't worry, the truth shall set you free, and the truth, it's already coming out. And what a wonderful president that we have. This old man, I tell you, he's got the whole horrible, horrible life experience. He's passed, has been such a bad person and done this and that. And man, I think, at the age of 80, you will think that somebody will say, wow, this man has changed a lot. And yet people keep calling him out and saying this and that. And no facts, just accusations that they were given by somebody else and they go with it. That's what I don't understand. But you know what? We don't care. Let's see. Southside BK, what up, my guy? Welcome with the king profile photo. Let's go. Jai King Trump. Now, people that don't know, we say King Trump just to troll them, but we know exactly who we have as president. Now, we're going to be hearing a little bit on illegal immigration. I know it's not new current events, but this you're going to want to hear. And I want to point out a couple of things before we even get there. I believe there was a let me check my X account. And sorry guys, I've been busy doing other stuff in here, trying to do a new setup because I want to use some special gadgets that I haven't used before, and I think that it would just be fun to use. So give me a second here. I think I saved these guys. Yeah, I did. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna point something out to you guys here very soon. Okay. Now let me see if I can set that up there. Yeah. Okay. So we grab this here. Try to put it there. All right. So before we get started on this video, okay, let me finish saying hello to you guys. You wish, okay, this guy's not going to get a hello from me. 98 HD, welcome to the house, House of Pain. Mr. Towler, how are you? Pray for America, Trump 2048. Man, this guy's faith is deep, deep faith. What about that picture that Putin has of Donnie? Yeah, okay, dude. Listen. Hey, Robert, how are you? Don't set up at Dennis. No, it's I got to play with new stuff. I can't just always do the same thing. And I got some stuff. I just I'll try to hook it up. I got something not hooked up right. Um, but I got some sound effects for our beautiful haters when they come in here sometimes. I think I might have to just record the sounds and then play them out as a make a little square of different little play sounds that I can play when these guys get on. I think it's allowed. I don't think it's a copyright stuff. Gulf of America, let's go. Everybody knows, you know it, I know it. Everybody's talking about it. We know all of this is true. Everybody will agree that it is the Gulf of America. That's the horrible impression of my president. Love President Donald Trump. If you guys missed it today, we actually watched him and the Saudi prince saying hello and taking a couple of questions and well, just talking about investments that they're doing in here and why those investments are necessary. And I find it very interesting because we had a lot of Democrats, a lot of libtards, a lot of no common sense people in the House, and I still can't believe it. They're asking all these dumb questions instead of listening to the video, try to understand what it really is that they're saying. They don't pay attention. Their hate is so deep they just can't let it go. That's just the way it is for some people. They're happy being miserable, and well, us we like to be happy. Period. We don't like to be miserable. But without further ado, let me go ahead and play this little clip, which, by the way, it's 100% set up. This guy just, that's not that one. This one. Yes. Okay. So this one is a total joke. This guy is a joke. Horrible. This guy. This guy, I have no respect for this guy. I'm sorry, guys. I just have no respect for people that do the things that this guy does. Number one, this guy slept with a Chinese spy. He has not tried. Now, I don't know what you think. Okay, I'm going to throw these out there. I don't know what you think, but I think that if you're an American citizen, this is just me. This is just what I think. If you're an American citizen, um, wouldn't you be a patriot to the American people? Wouldn't you want this country to be loved, respected, lifted? Wouldn't you want the best for this country if you're American? If you're American, wouldn't you want this country to be prosperous? Wouldn't you want all of your American citizen neighbors and brothers and sisters and family? Wouldn't you want them to be prosperous? Wouldn't you want them to be safe? Wouldn't you want them to be happy first before anybody else? Wouldn't you put their safety above everybody else that comes to this country? I think the answer is yes. If you're an American, you should want those things. My man, welcome, welcome, brother. It's good to see you on here. I love it when you guys are here, my patriots. You guys are my what do you call it? The steam behind my steam engine. That was very corny. Anyways, I appreciate your support. That's what I'm trying to get to. Thank you for the subscribes. Guys, we are at 11,167 subscribers. Let's keep pushing. Let's get to that 12,000. We are trying to get, guys, we're running out of time. We're trying to get to 20,000 by Christmas. That's how we're going to do it. I will sacrifice all the time that I have and myself to do very long lives, or at least try to come out as live as possible. And just keep talking truth, keep talking information that we need to know. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the first video in here. Now, just so you know, I am a guy that, well, I believe in retribution. There's a couple of people that I'm looking for in the chat. So do me a favor, mods. Don't delete the comments. I am looking for 2 people to come into my chat so I can ban them forever. I'm going to report them. They have been threatening my life, and they have left some nasty comments on some of my videos, and they will be reported to the FBI. So don't delete any comments. I'm looking for 2 people, and as soon as I find those 2 people, they're gone. I'll take care of it. All right. So with that being said, just allow people to comment, and hopefully they will come by. I'm wearing the Gulf of America, so I'm sure that they're going to stop by. No, Chicano, not you. You would have been gone already. Trust me. I'm not even going to tell them hello. I'm just going to say bye. That's how you're going to know. I'm just going to say bye. But they're being reported to the FBI, just so you guys know. Listen, you can say whatever you want to me. You don't threaten my life. I don't play with that shit. I believe in the freedom of speech, and I believe that you can say whatever you can wear whatever you want, but you don't threaten my life. That's not acceptable. All right, so let's go and let's take a look at this congressman. You guys already know him. He's smiling because he set up this video to say what he wants to say. Well, let's find out what he wants to say. And guys, let me know if there's audio on this. I'm gonna double check.
Hey, Congressman.
What's going on?
What the fuck is up with Trump calling on House Republicans to release the Epstein files?
Very, very rich, Mr. President. But let me tell you what, checkmate. I know you're more of a checkers guy than chess, but checkmate because you don't need Congress to release the Epstein files. We were doing this because you wouldn't release them. You actually have complete discretion to release all of the files. So why don't you do your job?
Welcome,
otherwise, we're just going to assume the worst. And the worst is that you don't want all of us to see how directly connected you are to the most notorious child sex trafficker ever. Checkmate.
I love it. Don't you guys love that? Checkmate. Checkmate. Oh, man. Checkmate, he says. I love it. Every single person that has stepped against President Donald Trump and all of us because they insult us. Man, official just became a welcome to Above and Beyond. Above and Beyond. That's some good support right there. Appreciate it. There is some elite out there, but we'll see one day. You are a true one, Saltwater. Of course, you are a grifter, says Joe Baca, who has sold his soul to the devil. How sad, sir. You doing this is the only thing you can do to God and Jesus that is not forgivable. Well, my friend, if you really want to know what's not forgivable, it's blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. Everything else goes. So I don't blaspheme against the Holy Spirit. Not once, not ever. Will I ever even dare? And just so you know, I am afraid of God. Something that a lot of fake believers don't have is fear of God. They are so used to hearing, oh, God is loving. Don't worry, God is loving. No. All right. Let's see. Chigano says, Dennis, please check out Chi Van Fleet sometime. She's American canary in the coal mine. Chi Van Fleet? Let's take a look. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see. Let's see. American author, huh? Is that what you want me to look at? Her? Miles America Survivor Warning with Chi Van Fleet. Chi Van Fleet, author of Miles America, a Survivor Warning discussed. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I will check it out, my friend. I will check it out when I have time. I am studying so many things right now, guys. You have no idea. I barely have enough time to read more stuff in my schedule. But I already know where that's going to go already just by listening to the title of the book. You guys know that I've been, studying a lot on the Muslim culture, religion, and some of the people that used to be Muslims, some of the actual leaders that actually come from Muslims that they talk about all this stuff. A lot of people don't like it when I talk about it, but it is something that I do study and try to interpret it in my way. Let's see, Felipe, my family name, Brad. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and start playing the video because this is probably going to be a short live. As you guys imagine, I started very late, but we will get through it. And let's see, is this one right here? Boom. You guys already seen this yet? The reason why I'm going to bring this up is I always do it for a reason, okay? So one of them I show you Swalwell, right? There is a video. You know what? Let me see if I can push it even farther. Let me see if I can push this even farther. Let me go back to my X. Where's my X account? Oh man, did I close it? Don't tell me. Okay, here we go. All right. let me find it first before I show you. Okay, let me look through it. It's been a little while, but I think it's not too far to where I can actually see it. If I don't see it in 2 more turns. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to find it there. Okay. All right. So we're not going to find it. But I want to point this out before I play this video, okay? Now, you're going to see a clip towards the end of this video that we're about to play. Swalwell shows a video of different clips of what ICE is doing. And what he's trying to point out is that ICE is, violating rights of the people, etc. But what you have to understand about these videos is that these videos are people that have been trying to block ICE, people that have been warned by ICE to get away. An ICE agent actually pulls a gun out because the guy is almost inside the van or inside the vehicle and interfering with ICE business. The other one is a big Mexican guy in the car pretending to have a seizure. The reason why they pulled that car over is because there was a warrant for the wife. And the husband faked a seizure in the car. And these are the videos that Democrats use to demonize ICE agents. I'm not going to say they're perfect. You know what? There's a lot of pressure. People, they're not protesting. They're inciting violence. They get in their faces. I get it, guys. You can do whatever. But listen, I think there's got to be some rules. How about a 5 to 6 foot rule? If you're going to yell at me, you cannot come any closer than that. All right, that's simple. Let's do some COVID rules right now. Do not get close to me. You're going to be yelling at me. There's going to be spit flying out of your mouth, and that's assault. All right? So let's make sure that people stay out of jail. And don't worry, I'm still looking for those 2 people. So don't remove comments, please. I want them all to be in here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Thanks for the subscribing. If you guys see that, my health, I am the stream boss in here. But my health goes down every time there's a subscriber adding on to the account. And it also goes down when people put super chats, memberships, etc. And so, the official took a little chunk of my health with that membership, and I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that love and support. Muchas gracias, compadre. Te lo agradezco mucho. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this video. And, let's pay attention to my Patriots. You already know what's up. For all of you that come to visit for the first time, if you're on the left side, it's okay, welcome. But be respectful while you're in here. And pay attention to this video because you have to understand that we have been lied to for too long and we need to start waking up. So hopefully this video makes sense. Let's watch it together and let's see what's up. Omar, I see you, little brother. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live. I hope you just got off work and that you are going to be off for the rest of the night. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Amendments and staff is authorized to make technical and conforming changes. Pursuant to notice, I call up 5713, expedite removal of criminal alien.
Not as bad as Trump Epstein. Man, I'm glad I don't like that guy. Thank you, Captain. Captain Pumpkin in the house with a super chat. And let me see. No, he didn't take the boss lead. No boss.
Act for purpose of a markup. and move the committee report in favor to the House. The clerk will report the bill.
H.R. 5713, to authorize the expedited removal of aliens who are criminal.
Without objection, the bill is considered as read and open for amendment. Any point, the chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Gill, for an opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for putting together this hearing today. I want to set the stage for this bill as we get started. Imagine a Trinidad Aragua gang member arrives at the southwest border illegally near the height of the Democrat Biden-Harris border crisis in 2023. He's traveled a long way, but of course he's got taxpayer-funded NGOs who have provided him assistance throughout his entire journey.
That's true.
He's one of hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens encountered at the U.S. southwest border that month and more than 2 million that year alone. Because Border Patrol is overwhelmed, he's released into the interior.
Now, let me clarify. You guys can talk crap to them. Just don't remove the comments. I'm looking for 2 people to report to the FBI.
Of the country with a notice to appear in immigration court. To remain in the country and get a work permit, he'll file a bare-bones application for asylum that everybody knows is frivolous and stands no chance of success. Another taxpayer-funded NGO in the U.S. told him to do that, and he files his asylum application anyways. Because the immigration court backlog is nearly 4 million cases, it'll be years before his flimsy case is heard by an immigration judge. In the meantime, he'll move to New York or Chicago or San Francisco, be given taxpayer-funded benefits, be arrested for one crime or another, be coddled by sanctuary city leaders, and defended by Democrats who say America's long-standing immigration laws are simply too mean. Yet he'll remain in the immigration court backlog for years, filing continuance after continuance and motion after motion to delay his eventual removal from the United States. Years later, an immigration judge inevitably denies his frivolous asylum claim. The illegal alien gang member will appeal to the Board of Immigration Appeals, which will then take months, if not years, to reach a decision on his case.
Due process.
Once the Board of Immigration Appeals affirms the immigration judge's obvious decision, the illegal alien gang member will again appeal, this time to a federal court of appeals, which will take even more months, if not years, to deny his appeal.
Due process.
That's the process for one hypothetical illegal alien gang member allowed into the United States. It's not abnormal by any means, due to the open borders Democrat administration years ago. Thousands of federal man-hours at the Department of Justice, the Department of Homeland Security, and in the federal courts have been expended on this case alone, including countless taxpayer dollars. All of this to deny a frivolous claim by an illegal alien gang member to ensure he's deported from the United States. Today, we'll consider a bill to help end this insane nonsense. The Expedited Removal of Criminal Aliens Act is straightforward. It says if you're a criminal alien in the United States, you cannot game our asylum system and you cannot take advantage of the American people's generosity and remain in the country for years waiting for an immigration court hearing. If you're a foreign national who is convicted of certain crimes, you're ineligible for immigration benefits and relief. You must be detained and you must be deported quickly. For decades, current immigration law has authorized a more efficient process to quickly remove certain dangerous criminal aliens from the country. Under existing law, aggravated felon aliens can be removed from the United States without going through traditional immigration court removal proceedings. Current law also makes aliens convicted of aggravated felonies ineligible for immigration relief, such as asylum, and presumes they are deportable from the United States. This process is known as administrative removal or expedited removal. Every federal court of appeals to consider the constitutionality of these expedited procedures have held that the current statute comports with due process. This bill expands the categories of criminal aliens that may be placed in removal proceedings when they are in criminal custody and authorizes DHS to place additional criminal aliens in expedited removal proceedings. The bill allows DHS to fast-track the deportation of aliens who are not lawful permanent residents and, one, are members of a criminal gang, transnational criminal organization, or foreign terrorist organization, or two, have been convicted of dangerous crimes. Democrats, I'm sure, are going to hyperventilate about this bill, but before they do, let's listen to the categories of criminal convictions to which this bill applies. Any felony, any misdemeanor against a member of a vulnerable group, any assault of a law enforcement officer, any sexual offense, any crime of domestic violence.
Thank you, Larry, for the super chat. You do get your comments read, my friend.
Any stalking offense, any crime against children, including sex trafficking of a minor or sexual abuse of a minor, any activity relating to material involving the sexual exploitation of minors, or any violation of a protective order. A vulnerable group in this context includes a child younger than 16, a pregnant woman, an individual with a severe physical or mental disability, and senior citizens over the age of 65. I think, Mr. Chairman, this is a bill that the American people agree with. In fact, a poll from just a few weeks ago showed that 78% of Americans support deporting immigrants who are here illegally and have committed crimes. That includes nearly 70% of Democrats. And those numbers are after a breathless 11-month full court press by Democrats and their far-left media allies to demonize the men and women carrying out federal immigration enforcement every single day. It isn't working. In fact, a clear majority, 56% of Americans, agree with deporting all immigrants who are in the country illegally. Even 36% of Democrats believe that all illegal aliens should be deported. It's no surprise. Let's consider what Democrats did to this country for 4 years. Historic highs of border encounters, with Border Patrol overrun and the southwest border completely abandoned. At least 8 million illegal aliens allowed to enter the United States, including 2 million gotaways who evaded apprehension entirely. Hundreds of aliens on the terrorist watch list encountered at the southwest border, with at least 99 potential terrorists released into the country, and we believe that number is probably significantly higher. That also led to an immigration court backlog that exploded to its highest ever. And the Democrat Party sat by and enabled the border crisis every single step of the way, doing nothing to stop it. In fact, doing everything they could to encourage it.
Yep.
When Democrats controlled and enjoyed unified control of the government with the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate, they went out of their way to leave our border open. They did nothing to secure the border, nothing to keep Americans safer, and nothing to enact what they constantly drone about, which is comprehensive immigration reform. So what have they done? Last Congress, the House passed a bill to secure the border and protect Americans. Every House Democrat voted against it. Last Congress, the House passed a bill to kick out foreign nationals who steal Americans' identities and commit Social Security fraud. 155 Democrats voted against it. Just this Congress, the House passed a bill to kick drunk driving illegal aliens out of the country. 160 House Democrats voted against it. Just 2 months ago, we passed a bill to increase prison sentences for illegal aliens convicted of felonies. 197 House Democrats voted against it. In January, we passed the Laken Riley Act, named in honor of the Georgia nursing student brutally murdered by an illegal alien. 156 House Democrats voted against it. In this committee, in September, we voted out a bill named after Kayla Hamilton, who was killed by an illegal alien. Every committee Democrat voted against it. At that committee markup, Representative Crockett, our friend, referred to Kayla Hamilton as, quote, a random dead person, end quote. Democrats even shut down the federal government just recently to restore taxpayer-funded health care benefits to illegal aliens. This is the Democrats' legacy on immigration, voting against common sense, rejecting reforms, demonizing the victims of their policies. And that's exactly what the American people resoundingly rejected last November. Foreign terrorists released into American communities, gang members unleashed onto American streets, illegal aliens crowded into American schools and hospitals, foreign nationals signed up for voter rolls, illegal alien benefits bankrolled by hardworking American taxpayers. That is their legacy. And at the end of it all, American communities are abandoned, American people victimized, mothers raped, daughters assaulted, sisters murdered. American cities overwhelmed, public services overrun, American generosity overburdened, and taxpayer budgets overstretched. And the American people said simply, "We're over it." They gave Congress and the president a mandate to secure the border and fix a flawed immigration system that all too often benefits illegal aliens at the literal expense of American citizens. This bill is a step forward in fulfilling that mandate. Let's chart a new path forward. The Expedited Removal of Criminal Aliens Act moves us closer to that goal, and I urge my colleagues to support it. And I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. The ranking member is now recognized for an opening statement.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. You know, the two most beautiful words in the Constitution, maybe in the English language, are due process. It's due process that protects our rights and our freedoms from the arbitrary power of government officers who might be completely convinced of the righteousness of what they're doing, but they might not care about your rights, and they might not care about your freedoms, and they might be wrong about the facts. One of my colleagues said when we got into this debate last time to me, well, wait, you're not saying you support due process for guilty people, are you? And that's the whole point.
I'm sorry, I had to pause it. This guy is a moron. And this is exactly how the people that are not for MAGA, the people that don't support Trump, this is exactly the kind of people or their mentality that comes into our chat to disrupt and troll. They just heard the actual argument that the man is making. And he comes up and just says something completely different. The guy's talking about an illegal immigrant getting due process over and over and over and extending the stay and reiterating why it doesn't work. Illegal immigrants do not get the residents and citizens' right to due process. It's the way that they interpret it is different. Why is it that Republicans and minds alike interpret the due process the way I do? And then there's so many like this moron here that interprets differently. Why is that? It just, I don't know if it will ever make sense, but we need to get rid of a lot of stupid people in Congress and bring new people in, like this representative from Texas.
We don't know if they're guilty until there's been due process. So yes, we've got to have due process for everyone. That's what the Constitution talks about.
Okay, Keir, right there. Okay, so due process to make sure to prove that you are not guilty of a crime. But if the due process that you got first show that you have fake papers and you have no permission to be in this country, that's it. It shouldn't be extended. It shouldn't be another court date. Right there, you have proven that this person is illegal and therefore does not belong in this country. Very simple. I don't understand what the big deal is.
In our first colloquy about the first bill this morning, Mr. Chairman, we heard members saying that due process was just too excruciatingly prolonged and protracted when
I know. Just listen to him and you tell me if he's not a moron.
we were talking about a case where a guy kicked a dog, spent 3 days in jail, and then was deported from the country. And yet again,
illegal.
We hear from the distinguished gentleman from Texas that due process just takes too long. It just goes on for too long. Look, this bill is a front.
For illegals. It takes too long for illegals. We already know it does take too long for everybody. But he's talking specifically for illegals. And he makes it sound like it's for us Americans. Right? No. See, that's the whole thing, Sonny. That's the whole thing. If you are a citizen, if you're a resident, even if you're a visitor or migrant, you got to have your passport with you at all times if you're a migrant. If you're a tourist, if you're visiting the United States of America, you got to have a passport. When I go travel, even when I go travel to Honduras where I was born, I have my American passport with me. Just in case they wonder, what am I doing there, when and who I came here with. I got to have my passport to show where I'm from. My passport says I was born in Honduras and that I'm an American citizen of this country. See, that's the difference. Don't make excuses for criminals to get away with murder. Let's not play that game, guys. Let's not play that game. I want you to stop playing games. Listen to what's happening. We're talking about illegal immigrants. Due process for illegal immigrants. You guys missed the whole conversation. He got his due process once, twice, 3 times, and the man is still out in the open. How about we give him due process and hold him in jail? See how much they will like that due process. I guarantee you they're going to ask to be deported. If you, fact, if you remove all the benefits that you give illegal immigrants, they would all self-deport. If you enforce the law that they cannot work in this country by being illegal, they will leave this country, and we will have our land back, and we will have our country back. Very simple. So due process for Americans, criminality, I get it. But if they do somebody kicked the chicken around, somebody arrested him, they found out that he was illegal, that's due process. He went, got a court date, which is due process. Look it up. Due process means that you have the right to representation, show your case in court. But as soon as they found out that you are illegal, it doesn't matter if you broke a window. The fact that you came into jail, went to court, and then they found out that you were illegal, well, now you got to go. Deported automatically, instantly. There is no such thing as like, well, let's see if we can get another court date so we can fight for our rights. No, you don't have no rights. You're illegal. There's no rights for you. Not that kind of rights. You got to go. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So that's why I think he's a moron.
Strike on due process. When you think of the government officials who are going to be wielding this lawless power, don't think of the leaders that you love and know the most, the ones who are inviting you to dinner. Think of the ones you loathe and fear the most, because those are the ones you will be empowering also to designate people at whim as terrorists and as drug traffickers. This bill is extraordinary. It would allow the Secretary of Homeland Security to unilaterally declare.
Hey, Maje, thanks for the super chat. Soy ciudadano pendejo. Soy hondureño americano, cabrón. Hey, le guste a quien le guste. Whether you like it or not, I am. Liberty for all. He knows. He's my brother from another country, but we're in the same land. We're at the same level. And we love this country, my friend. We love being American citizens now. We have been accepted into this country, not by everybody that doesn't like America, but by every patriot and American that believes that this is the land of opportunity and that this belongs to the land of the migrants that do everything the right way, not illegally. Those are the people that have accepted me, and I got a certificate to prove it. It's just not for you to know. Send ICE. And I'll go ahead and take a selfie with them and hold my passport up. And then I'm going to put that in there. I can't wait. I got to meet an ICE agent. I got to go find an ICE agent, take a selfie. Every time somebody says, I'm going to get deported, ICE is coming for me, I want to have 2 ICE agents next to me like this. And, hey, let's see what happens. I would love to do that. Guys, stop interrupting me and watch this guy lie.
Any of the following people a terrorist or a gang member, even if they've never been convicted of anything, even if they're not being prosecuted for anything right now. And then
I'll tell you what I don't appreciate. This guy almost became the stream boss with an insult. That's pathetic.
deport them. Anybody traveling on a tourist visa, anyone working here legally on an H-1B work visa, or an agricultural visa, or a summer work visa. Anyone studying at an American university at the undergraduate level or the graduate level can just be designated.
Hold on, liar. Welcome, Liberty. Sorry about that. I had to use your name as an example. Berniel, welcome, my friend. All my true patriots are in the house, and that makes me excited. That's all I need. Every other hater in here, you guys can't face me. Rush, stop telling people so many facts. Wait until the video's over so I have something to say. You guys keep throwing facts out there, and well, it's just you guys are running the show, I guess. I'm just here for the pretty looks. That's all I'm here for. Attract viewers with this amazing looks. That's what I'm here for. Welcome, Rush. Love, sis. Love you, sis.
A terrorist or a drug trafficker without any legal or administrative process at all. The summary designation of people lawfully
Berniel, my wife says hello.
present here as terrorists or gang members, and their removal from the country would take place without any necessary evidentiary proof or any standard at all. This bill destroys due process. It's in plain violation of even the Roberts Court's holding that under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, persons in America are guaranteed some form of due process before being removed. Yet time and again, we've seen this administration want to designate hundreds of people, thousands of people, en masse.
Robert Hernandez, I like that. I would take that insult that you're throwing because it's freaking funny. Hey man, why you think I'm trying to grow the hairs long, man, so people can't tell? I'm gonna have to start spreading it out this way so nobody can tell my double chin. Maybe Robert. That's funny, bro. That is funny. I would take that any day, bro.
As gang members and terrorists without any concrete, individualized, or relevant evidence to back it up. And these wild accusations have led to devastating consequences. Take the case of Herrera Barrios, a 36-year-old professional soccer player and coach who was an asylum seeker from Venezuela, awaiting his asylum hearing. Unbeknownst to his family, he was swept up and flown out of the country to that famous torture prison in El Salvador as part of the government's dragnet campaign against Tren de Aragua. He had no criminal record. He had no criminal charges, but he was sent to the mercy of a brutal dictator in El Salvador simply because he's got a tattoo on his right arm, which was mistakenly associated with Tren de Aragua. In fact, the tattoo is of a soccer ball topped with a crown, which signifies the soccer club Real Madrid. He had no legal process. He had no judge. He had no jury. He had no right to counsel. He had no opportunity to present evidence or to hear the charges against him. He had no opportunity to cross-examine. He had no due process. Look at one other case, Andre Hernandez Romero, a gay makeup artist and barber who fled Venezuela's brutal Maduro regime, which was persecuting him for being anti-gay and for speaking up for free speech in Venezuela. He'd passed his credible fear interview in our asylum process. His asylum claim was pending when he was swept up in the government's campaign because of his benign tattoos of two crowns, one symbolizing his beloved father, one symbolizing his beloved mother. And that became the basis for his removal with a unilateral administrative power to declare somebody somehow at odds with the government. Romero missed his asylum hearing because he was at the torture prison in Salvador. 60 Minutes reviewed his media posts going back for more than a decade and could not find a shred of evidence linking him to a gang activity, and yet he was described as a gang member. To this day, the government has never brought forward any evidence. He's had no constitutional due process whatsoever. And our friend from Texas wants to make this the law. He wants to make this official that the government can declare anybody a gangbanger or a terrorist without any legal process at all and kick him out of the country. Come on. This is the Judiciary Committee of the United States House of Representatives. How can we...
Let's keep it 100% here. Even if a person is a gangbanger here in the United States of America, the only finally somebody took the stream boss lead. About time, man. I was afraid that this libtards was going to take the name and just dirty up my channel. Dennis, tell me the name of the guy. What guy? Which guy? The ones that I'm looking for to report to the FBI? No. After I kick them, after I find them, I will let everybody know. And the way that you're going to find out who it was is I'm going to say goodbye to that name That's how you know they got reported to the FBI, okay? Now, why didn't you guys tell me that this thing was not on? Sorry about that. You guys been watching my mountains. All right. You see, the whole time that he's been talking, he's been making it look. Now, I want to say this. Even if you're a gangbanger, if you're an American citizen, you don't get deported. If you're a green card holder and you're a gangbanger, that calls for action of removal of your privilege of a green card holder, and then you get deported. So it doesn't matter what you did to get caught. The fact is that if you're found to be illegal, you should be immediately deported. Period. We don't care if you broke the window. We don't care if you're a member of a gang. You're illegal, you gotta go. If you're a green card holder, you will lose that privilege and you gotta go. If you're an American citizen, that is different. But you will spend some time in jail. Hey, mira, ve. I'm gonna say this in Spanish for your own safety. Mi esposa me cortó el pelo, no jodas, ¿qué quieres que haga? It's all good, guys. It's all good. It's all saved. It's saved. I saved his life. No, Berniel, no. We're gonna get leftists joining the membership. Oh man, please listen. If you guys are not MAGA, ignore that membership. Get rid of that membership. If you are not MAGA, get rid of that membership. Thank you for the love, Berniel. Appreciate that. All right. Here we go. The fact is that, what do we got here? Yeah, liberty for all. You got the lead, my friend. And you know in MAGA country what we do when somebody becomes the stream boss of the chat. Everybody knows it. Get jiggy with it. Like a boss. Sorry, I had to laugh through the dance, bro. Liberty says, never mind. That's funny, man. That is funny. Like a boss, el jefe, el patrón. Liberty, you have been outdone because Berniel does not want the song to stop playing. Level up the like. Salute to Dennis and all the Patriots. Berniel representing in the house. That's right, for all of you guys that are visiting here for the first time. My Patriots love me, they support me, and they know that we want the best for this country. and we're not going to stand for anybody that wants to destroy it. It's that simple. It is very that simple. All right, let's go ahead and continue letting this fellow here continue with his lies. I want you to look at the girl in the back to his left. Look at her face right there. Can you guys see that? That right there? You see her face? She throws a look down at the other congressman in disgust, of course. And well, that's what they do when they make up lies like this. It divides the country. We are for Americans only, okay? And then once we get everything together and everything is great and everybody's happy and undivided, then we can go ahead and look elsewhere. Now, if the president goes out to the country doing other deals and things like that, that's because we need to make those deals. Like the Prince of Saudi that was here today, remember that he made an agreement with President Donald Trump that he was going to spend $500 to $600 billion in this country as an investment because they need this technology in Saudi. And he said that it's actually probably going to be around $1 trillion. Now, President Trump was only joking that he can make it $1 trillion. Well, he kind of did. They were still in the process of signing some documents, got to get legalities and all this stuff in order. But as soon as that gets done, the investments are 100% for sure. And the way that the Saudi prince talked about him, that, my friends, it's power. I'm going to tell you something. You can judge President Trump for walking with the Saudi prince, which, by the way, the ABC, was it, or BBC, came out straight out saying that the Saudi prince was responsible for an attack, blah, 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 from 9/11. And the Saudi prince made it very clear that the reason why that happened is because they try to break up the friendship that the United States has with Saudi Arabia. And I believe him. I believe him to be a good person. Now, he's a Muslim. He's got his own religion, guys. That's his culture. That's what they do over there. The women, the men, they all know it. Everybody knows it. But that's their country. We'll take care of our country, okay? We'll take care of ours. And he doesn't have to be over there doing whatever he wants to do. They can still be friends. And let me tell you something. It is better for me to be friends with my enemy than to be enemies with my friend. 100%.
Be pushing this. And by the way, if you don't care about soccer players and gay barbers from Venezuela, how about this? Are you okay with the Secretary of Homeland Security having a unilateral right to deem far-right white South Afrikaner groups like the Boer Mag, whose leader tried to assassinate Nelson Mandela, designated as terrorists and gangsters, and then simply removed from the country? Is that a power you want to vest unilaterally in a government official? Do you want future administrations to have the right to describe visitors from right-wing groups and parties in Europe, like Alternative for Deutschland in Germany, or Rassemblement National Français, as terrorists and gangsters? This bill is an extremely blunt instrument. It could be used to conduct mass deportations and to strip people here of their rights to due process under the Constitution.
Due process, that I'm telling you right now, only certain people will think that an illegal immigrant should spend 5 years going back and forth through court with due process. Unbelievable that you stand for that. The examples that he's making, some of them are bull crap. Some of them are not true. Hearsay. Some of them are true. But the fact is, if they're illegal, they don't have a right to be in this country anyway. Should have behaved. Should have made better decisions in their life. If you're an illegal immigrant, be careful of what you say on my chat. You might just get deported. Some of you ungrateful Americans that don't appreciate being Americans and us defending and fighting for American values and American people's freedom and safety, you can give up your American citizenship and give it to those hardworking illegal immigrants. That way they can stay here and they can be real Americans to this country, unlike you ungrateful people. It is so sad. It is very sad.
As even this Supreme Court has found they have. I hope everybody will join me in my opposition and yield back to this bill, and yield back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman yields back. Without objection, all other opening statements will be included in the record. The gentleman from Texas is recognized to offer an amendment in the nature of a substitute.
Yeah, Lindsay.
I have an amendment at the desk.
Clerk will report.
Amendment in the nature of a substitute.
Without objection, the amendment in the nature of substitute will be considered as read and shall be considered base text for the purposes of amendment. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Texas to explain the amendment.
This amendment, this amendment amends the relevant statutory sections to which this bill applies, including the mandatory detention statute, expedited removal statute, and withholding of removal statute. The amendment also defines criminal gang, applies the bill's provisions to members of transnational criminal organizations, adds a severability clause, and makes applicable aliens ineligible for all immigration benefits and relief. The amendment makes technical and conforming changes throughout the existing statute. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. Who seeks recognition?
Mr. Chairman.
Go to Ms. Jayapal. Even though it was a tie on the hands in the air, I'll go with the lady
She's just
first.
keeping me from our CPC meeting. But that's fine.
And me too. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise in strong opposition to this bill, and I think the ranking member laid out the severity of the situation very, very clearly. This bill gives the Secretary of Homeland Security nearly limitless discretion to label any non-citizen as a terrorist or a gang member and subject non-green card holders to a lightning-fast removal proceeding before not an impartial judge, but before a DHS official. And I was just looking at my phone and saw a story of these mass deportations, rapid deportations that are happening, and a story of somebody in New York, a woman who was illegally deported, and they left her 2-year-old child behind. And this was because she was deported in 4 days. All of the process was essentially waived. That is what this administration is doing. They have falsely accused countless innocent people of being gang members and terrorists, and they are using that label as an excuse to ship them off to torture chambers and even killing them. I'm just disgusted that the majority has looked at this.
First of all, there is no torture chambers in a Salvadorian prison. And besides, these persons are not being deported into the prison. That's only for the criminal gangbangers and criminals. Everybody else is getting repatriated to their country. They're not going to jail. They're not putting children in jail. And if anything, that child should have been deported with the parents. As a matter of fact, that child's citizenship, honestly, is the parents' citizenship. This is the reason why they should not allow birthright for anchor babies. There's a big reason why they shouldn't allow that. And that is the biggest example. So what? If you bring a child here from another country, should you not be deported with that child as well? See, when you think about being deported, it's repatriated, meaning you're going back to your patria. You're going back to your nation, the place where you were born, where you belong. That's what that means. Yeah, these gangbangers, they don't have the mattresses and all these little extra luxuries that they used to have. You guys don't know this, but they used to allow whores to come into that jail. They used to have cell phones. I mean, they were running gangs from the inside the jail. They were getting married in jail. They were having visitors to come in there and do whatever they want in the jail. Not anymore. It is done. Oh, here we go. Glenn says Gulf of Mexico. Well, I'm glad you asked. Oh, man, I love showing this picture right here. Look at that. Look at that. Would you look at it? Right there. Right there. Will you look at it? Just look at it. Look at it. Ew, Gulf of America, baby, 100%. Now, I want you to pay attention to something here, okay? I want you to pay attention to something here. I want you to understand this. When you look at this map, I want you to understand. When you look at this map right here, All of this right here is America, the United States of America. Mexico is part of the continent of America. So by default, the Gulf of America includes Mexico and the United States of America. Yeah, I know. Very smart. Very smart. I know. And now it has been confirmed and proven 100%. Gulf of America stands. Gulf of Mexico is gone. It's uninclusive. We don't want it. We like inclusivity. Oh, man, I couldn't hold it. I thought I can get through it. I apologize about that. All right, continue.
Abysmal record and decided that what the administration needs is not less power and more oversight, but actually more power to continue to do this. We should be conducting oversight on the Trump administration's abuse of authority and attempts to take over cities across the country in the name of immigration enforcement. Last month in Chicago, I led 8.
Just so you know, I'm very ashamed of her. She's from Washington State. She's from my state, and I like what did she say right there? Let me rewind that. I know I'm punishing you guys. I'm sorry. Let me rewind that. Here we go. Listen to this.
And even killing them. I'm just disgusted that the majority has looked at this abysmal record and decided that what the administration needs is not less power and more oversight, but actually more power to continue to do this. We should be conducting oversight on the Trump administration's abuse of authority and attempts to take over cities across the country in the name of immigration enforcement. Last month in Chicago, I led 18 of my colleagues to conduct the largest act of congressional immigration oversight since Trump took office. And what we heard in Chicago was absolutely devastating. People of all statuses who were terrorized by Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino and rogue immigration officials across Chicagoland. And the day after our shadow hearing, Bovino actually deployed tear gas in a residential neighborhood as children were gathering for a Halloween parade. In the words of a federal judge, quote, "These kids, their sense of safety was shattered, and it's going to take a long time for that to come back," end quote. That same weekend, Border Patrol agents dragged a 67-year-old U.S. citizen from his car, breaking 6 of his ribs, while children in Halloween costumes were watching in horror. And you know what? His crime...
Hey, it's Halloween. It's what it's supposed to be all about. Horror.
was turning down a street to get home. He never resisted. In another incident, Bovino, the head of CBP,
now, I wish that I can believe... Sure, thank you. Where is the thing that you gave me, the opener? I wish that I can believe what she's saying, but as you will find out, the videos at the end of this clip, you will see how much they lie, because I know you, by now, know the truth. So listen very carefully. We're almost there.
Admitted to lying about whether a rock hit him before he deployed tear gas. We also heard from an active duty service member risking his life for his country. His father, he flew back to this country because his father was kidnapped. By the time he got back here, his father had been deported. This is a guy who's serving our country, and he said, how is it possible that I'm giving my life for this country and they're deporting my father, who did absolutely nothing?
Because his father is illegal. Going to serve in the military does not excuse you from having illegal parents. He should have requested those parents to be legal a long time ago. Come on.
Nothing wrong. Another 19-year-old U.S. citizen forced to take on her mother's business and care for her younger sibling following her mother's detainment. And folks may remember the militarized raid on an apartment building in the dead of the night that resulted in U.S. citizens, many of them African Americans, dragged out of bed, children, some naked, zip-tied, and detained for hours. And the Trump administration was claiming that this building was, quote, filled with Tren de Aragua gang members and said that they captured 2 confirmed gang members. Stephen Miller claimed that it was, quote, one of the most successful law enforcement operations we've seen in the country. And yet, a month and a half later, prosecutors have not filed a single criminal charge against anyone who was arrested, nor have they revealed any evidence that showed that anyone actually belonged to a gang. In fact, many of those that were arrested in the raid were granted voluntary departure, and that would not have happened if they were a serious threat. For any federal agents who are watching this, remember that you swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And the law of the United States of America is federal law of immigration. That is in the law of the United States of America, which they themselves, the Democrats, are not, I repeat, they are not protecting. Federal agents, ICE agents, are defending the American constitutional law. And one of them laws is the federal law of immigration. You don't come to this country illegally, period. Huge. I may have misworded that, but you know what I'm saying.
This conduct that we're seeing does not hold up with that oath, and we are going to hold you accountable. Everyone that is involved in this absolute travesty of and violation of justice. And I want to thank Representatives Chuy Garcia and
Por tu maldito amor.
Delia Ramirez, who helped me put this on, as well as Representatives Mary Gay Scanlon, Becca Ballant, Sidney Kamlager-Dove, and Jasmine Crockett for coming to Chicago, along with many other colleagues. This is not normal, and we should be standing up to actually uphold the laws of this country. I urge Republican colleagues to join us and vote no on this. Mr. Chairman, I also seek a unanimous consent.
Gentleman may make her request.
To enter into the record the following articles from ABC. Chicago's children are getting caught in the chaos of immigration crackdowns.
Without objection.
From the Washington Post, suburban Chicago dad headed to store with toddler says they were pepper sprayed by federal agents.
Without objection.
From the Chicago Sun-Times, feds deployed tear gas on the far southeast side even after cops told them they had no gas masks.
Without objection.
From The Guardian, Chicago daycare worker freed from judge rules ICE arrest unlawful.
Without objection.
From The Independent, U.S. citizen 67 has ribs broken by Border Patrol agents after being dragged out of car while driving home into street they'd blocked off.
Without objection.
From ProPublica, I lost everything. Venezuelans were rounded up in a dramatic midnight raid but never charged with a crime.
Without objection.
From the Chicago Tribune,
Level 5 access. Se acabó official. You are in the club, sir.
U.S. citizens racially profiled by immigration agents in Chicago, quote, I felt like a piece of trash.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
The lady yields back. Gentleman from, excuse me, from Texas is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to remind the committee that administrative removal is already on the books right now. All this law does is simply expand the categories under which an illegal alien can be deportable via administrative removal. In fact, administrative removal was used 13,000 times by President Obama, over 12,000 times under President Biden.
I remember that because we supported the immigration reform with all the Latinos down in California, and that's exactly what we got. So guess what? We understand is the law. It's not just the president trying to be the mean president that they say he is. And he just destroyed everything she just lied about right there.
Were those deportations a violation of due process?
Would the gentleman yield?
And no, I will not. And if we want to talk about due process, as my colleagues would like to, where was the due process for Rachel Morin, who was slaughtered by an illegal alien? Where was the due process for Kayla Hamilton, who was slaughtered by an illegal alien? What about Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungary? Where was the due process for them?
Yeah.
Where was the outrage when the last administration ushered into our communities Tren de Aragua gang members, MS-13 cartel members, and terrorists from around the world. I think that the American people can see that Democrats reserve their tears for illegal aliens who break our laws and victimize our communities. But if we want to talk about due process, let's talk about due process.
Come on, Patriots, put some comments down in that chat. I want to see all the Patriots in here.
Federal courts of appeals have routinely upheld this law's administrative removal procedures as they have existed for the last 30 years. In fact, every federal court of appeals to consider the constitutionality of the expedited removal procedures under Section 238 of the Immigration and Nationality Act has held that the statute comports with due process. Nearly 3 decades ago, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit held that, quote, clearly the expedited statutory deportation scheme comports with the minimum requirements of due process pronounced by the Supreme Court. The Fifth Circuit outlined the due process requirements, quote, that an alien...
So, hold on. Sorry about that, Mr. Rep. You think they did what? They were humane? You said they were humane? They literally put them in cages. Obama is the one that put those children in cages that were not bigger than the cattle for a dog. Yeah, that's right. That's why AOC posted that fake photo of her crying, saying that President Trump put those children in cages. That was Obama. That was Obama, not Trump. But nice try, though. We'll follow everything that they do.
Be provided notice of the charges against him, a hearing before an executive or administrative tribunal, and a fair opportunity to be heard, end quote, all of which this statute satisfies and did satisfy. As recently as this past July, the Fifth Circuit reiterated that holding, as have the U.S. Courts of Appeals for the 4th, 6th, 9th, 10th, and 11th Circuits. Democrats' fear-mongering contradicts the law, contravenes the text of the bill, and undermines efforts to ensure that dangerous illegal aliens can be quickly removed from the United States. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
The gentleman from New York is recognized.
Thank you. I move to strike the last word.
Actually, you must look. They have plenty of movies, and they call them inspirational movies. And yes, you will see illegal immigrants coming into this country looking at as heroes. And then, of course, they will make the saddest stories so that you will feel bad about it. But no, Hollywood has been cashing in on this. And a lot of them actually have illegal immigrants in their homes, cleaners and the yard workers and all that stuff. Remember, this is what Democrats say when they want to defend illegal immigrants. Who's going to pick our cotton? Who's going to clean our toilets? That's how they defend illegal immigrants. Who's gonna mow the lawn, and who's gonna do the yard, and who's gonna do the dirty work nobody wants to do? Who's gonna do the dirty? That's not a compliment. How about, who's gonna be the engineer? Who's gonna build the next engine? Who's gonna be the next doctor, the next surgeon? No. Every time they defend illegal immigration, it's garbage. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be offensive to those who do that. But that's the way they make it look like. Now, let's be clear before you go jump into conclusions. I used to clean toilets. I used to cut grass. There's nothing wrong with that. It's legal. It's legit. It's honest work. But to say that that's all they can do, that's garbage. Not the work. They are garbage for saying that's all that they do. And it's not true. Our migrants are they're hard workers. I get it. Most of them don't have education. I get that. But they're great laborers. They do have skills. They just got to do it right. They just got to do it the right way. If they don't have permission to come in this country, that means the American dream does not belong to them. It is very simple. El Chingon has gifted 10 more memberships, man. Take advantage. Robert. Robert is a member now. Oh, my goodness. True Tarot readings. No. Oh, man. Why? I want all the Patriots. El Chingon, you are now El Más Chingon. Oh, man, this guy. I'm going to have to do it, guys. I'm going to have to do it. Hit it. All right, that's enough of that. Liberty for all is the actual new boss, and I have to answer this one actually. That was a good question, good comment. I've seen a lot of videos of ICE agents over abuse their power just because they're federal authority. But let's be clear, as Americans, we are better than that. It seems like a race for numbers. It is. It is a race for numbers. And I agree with what you say. There's always going to be some power trip guys out there. But let's face it, this country, thank you for subscribing, guys. You guys are amazing. Let's face it, this country has never been invaded by a massive wave of illegal immigrants. And that, my friends, is the big difference. I know it seems inhumane, but just like they made that trajectory all through Mexico to come here illegally, they were not supposed to do that. That was inhumane, and they did that themselves. It is up to us to do what makes sense. We need to use our common sense, not our emotions, not our feelings, and we need to make sure that we clean our country. Simple as that. And with that being said, all of you members, if you don't want that membership, just get rid of it and let the actual patriots keep it. With that being said, Liberty for All is the new stream chat boss of the night. The big boss, el patrón. El big jefe. Viva Gulf of America.
I'm recognized. Thank you.
Recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate some of what my colleague from Texas discussed in his long soliloquy to begin the introduction of this bill. And I agree very wholeheartedly that our asylum system is broken. And I agree very much that it takes far, far too long to adjudicate asylum claims.
True.
That was actually corrected in the Senate's bipartisan immigration bill that Senator Lankford and Senator Murphy and Senator Sinema had agreed upon at the very beginning of 2024. Unfortunately, Donald Trump intervened to submarine that bill because he didn't want Joe Biden to get a win. So now my colleagues on the other side of the aisle continue to complain about the asylum system and continue to introduce these expedited removal statutes and bills to account for the fact that asylum processes can take 7-8 years. That bill put it at 6 months. 6 months. And so yet here we are with another bill for expedited removal without any due
Have a good night, Bernier. Thanks for being with us for a while. Take it easy.
process. And it almost feels like this is two completely separate bills mixed into one. And I think I know why. Because there are 3 categories of aliens, as it says here, who are subject to expedited removal. First is a member of a criminal gang or a criminal organization, as determined by the Secretary of Homeland Security. Not a judge, not an independent adjudicator. the Secretary of Homeland Security. The second is a member of an organization designated as a foreign terrorist organization pursuant to or has provided material support to such an organization. Again, as determined by the Secretary of Homeland Security. The third is someone who's been convicted of a felony or a misdemeanor against a vulnerable group. Well, that is totally different. A conviction, of course, requires due process. So I know where this is going. We, on the Democratic side, are going to oppose this because we've already seen, this is not hypothetical, we've seen the type of people that the Secretary of Homeland, the type of evidence that the Secretary.
Welcome to the chat, guys. They're trying to argue that everybody's getting due process, but Democrats are saying that due process has to be as long as it needs to be. And what the Republicans are arguing is that there is gangbangers, there's people out there that have been here for many years because they have been giving extension in court after extension after extension, and they never get deported, and they are allowed to be free in the country committing whatever crime there is. One of the main reasons why we want people to be here legally is because they get vetted, that there is a background check. See, you might think that the old man that is cleaning your garage or your house or mowing the lawn or whatever, you might think he's innocent, and maybe he is. But you don't know if he's a rapist. You don't know if he's a child molester. You don't know those things. So it is very important that people are vetted. And when people are here illegally, there is none of those things that you can be assertive of. You guys can have the worst criminal on earth. Come on. We in America here, what do we hear from people that are serial killers? Oh, my God, but he was such a great guy. You know, he was always nice to everybody. We don't know. That's why you don't know. This is why you got to do criminal background checks. This is why you got to vet people 100% before you allow them to come into this country. It is for the safety of the American people. Do you understand that? It doesn't matter. You can be a teacher. You can be a doctor. Let's not forget the superintendent that was making $300,000. The guy was a criminal. Possession of an illegal firearm. $300,000. Superintendent, over 30,000 kids he was overseeing. And he was over there smiling, playing with them, and who knows what. He was deported. He was illegal. You guys just don't know who the people are. Thanks for the super chat, Liberty. Funny that if we are legal or not legal, we still aliens. I don't like that name. If I'm an alien, what are they? So alien just means from another land, not a foreigner. What you're confusing is what you're confusing the word alien with is, you have to remember, aliens doesn't mean out of this world. Extraterrestrial aliens do. Does that make sense? Alien just means you're from another land, from another country. E.T., extraterrestrial aliens. That's what that means. I know, too many science fiction movies. I get it. I get it. John Kroger, no. I will not shave this. This is hiding my double chin. Stop hating. All right, so that's what we're doing. We're listening to these guys. We don't want lengthy due process because it allows for people that we don't know who they really are. It allows them to commit crimes in the country. And then you wonder, why was he not deported? Why was that child, raped, or why was this woman violated, blah, blah, blah. Why was he not deported before? Well, this is why they're arguing. And so that's what it is, okay? That's what we're doing.
Secretary of Homeland Security uses to determine someone to be a member of a gang. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, as we all remember,
here we go,
was whisked away to CICOT in El Salvador, where we now have numerous prisoners who said that they were tortured.
Here we go. I hate talking about this guy ever again, but it is what it is. Abrego Garcia, he is a MS-13 gangbanger. You guys know that. His reason, he said, for being here, seeking asylum. Yeah, right. Seeking asylum? Seeking asylum? That's what you were doing when you were doing that? We were doing kind of what for children? And you were smuggling what? That's how you seek asylum? Okay. He said he was afraid for his life that another gang will kill him. Listen, no pity for you. You chose that life. It's not like he went to the government and said, hey, listen, I know information. I need you to get me asylum in the United States, please. I'm afraid for my life. I'm afraid for my life. If he would have said something, given something up, and he was afraid, he turned his ways from it, I would get it. I understand. Okay, let's make an exception here. But he didn't do that. He came to this country. Let's not forget his own wife called spousal abuse on him. Even hit her in the eye with a shoe. You guys forget that? That is still in his record. Public records. Go look at it. Just go look at it. It's very simple. We're not making stuff up over here. It is the truth. So what? Somebody didn't tell the President Donald Trump that the MS-13 on top of the, the symbols was Photoshop on a photo. Okay, that was the administration's fault. They're stupid. They probably just assumed President Donald Trump knew that already. So they made it look like an ass about that. And people made fun of it. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It was obvious to me that it was a mistake. He didn't know. He didn't understand what they were saying about it. But besides that, nobody's perfect. The administration is not perfect. And if you're really, really going to pick on this administration because of the few mistakes that they have made, where have you been in the last 12 years of democratic destruction in this country?
Because he was allegedly a gang member because of tattoos that he had. That, I guess, is how we determine whether someone is a gang member.
Yes, that is how.
And so what we're going to hear is, obviously, this is preposterous to allow the Secretary of Homeland Security to make these determinations with full discretion, without any review, without any independent arbiter, to determine whether the evidence meets that.
He had an order of immediate removal.
I mean, this is fundamental due process. I know my Republican colleagues could...
Oh, that's right. You guys didn't see this. I think I made one of my videos. I actually posted a clip of the senator, or I think it's a senator, right, from Maryland, when he was down in Salvador. He didn't just have waters. He didn't just have margaritas down there. Maybe he didn't have margaritas. But he did hold his hand, I'm assuming delivering a message from his wife, and then he danced with Abrego. You guys didn't know that. Excuse me. You guys didn't know, but he actually went and danced with the gangbanger down in El Salvador. Tell me, what senators, any type of Democrat politician, any politician, tell me how many of them have gone to another country to bring back Americans that are in prison? Tell me that. Tell me how many American politicians on the Democratic side have gone down to Gaza, have gone down to Russia, have gone down to China. How many politicians, Democratic politicians, have gone and fought for American citizens' lives to come back to the United States of America? Let that marinate for a little bit.
Would not possibly support Alejandro Mayorkas from making these decisions.
That's right, Rock.
There's no possible way. But what we're going to now hear is, the Democrats are against deporting convicted felons against children.
You are.
That's going to be your talking point.
You are.
Just like your talking point is still that the shutdown was about providing health care to illegal aliens, when that's been debunked over and over and over again. So if you want to work on our immigration system, you want to fix our asylum system so that we don't have 80% of applicants be denied, but they've been here for 7 years, creating a tremendous pull, I am with you. Let's do it. But don't bring expedited removal for someone that the Secretary of Homeland Security alleges and determines on her own is a member of a terrorist organization. Those people should be deported, but they should have due process. And I yield back.
He did have multiple due
Gentleman yields
process.
back. The
Multiple court hearings. Multiple.
chair
Many.
will take the time, but I will yield to the gentleman from Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wish Democrats had been as worried about gangs over the last administration as they are about a gang definition in this bill. Because of Democrat policies, Tren de Aragua has an established presence from coast to coast in our country. Nearly every single day, we hear stories about the terror wrought by these heinous criminals. In August, ICE arrested a Tren de Aragua member with an active warrant in Bogota, where he was sentenced to 7 years for trafficking.
Rush, babe. That's amazing. What an honor. Your whole family. Unbelievable. What an honor to have Americans that have that kind of history under their belt. God bless you and your family, Rush, babe.
And possessing illegal firearms. He had been caught and released at the border during the Biden-Harris administration. In May, ICE arrested multiple Tren de Aragua members who were involved in a mass shooting at a Chicago house party last December.
That's right.
And these arrests are not limited to Tren de Aragua members. Earlier this year, ICE arrested a gang member from El Salvador with U.S. convictions for sexual indecency with a child, failure to register as a sex offender, illegal reentry, and illegal entry. ICE also arrested an MS-13 gang member with a homicide conviction and a Sureños 13 gang member with 6 convictions for drug possession, 3 convictions for resisting arrest, 2 convictions for domestic violence, and 2 convictions for assault. These are the crimes that are the obvious result of Democrats' open border policies, so today it's no surprise that they'd rather attempt to poke holes in a clear definition rather than own up to their past mistake. The definition of criminal gang here is straightforward. It clearly delineates the requirements to be considered a gang, and it closely tracks another gang definition already in statute, the definition of a criminal street gang in 18 U.S. Code 521. Federal immigration officials shouldn't have to wait for an illegal alien gang member to harm, kill, rape, or terrorize an American citizen before expediting the removal of that dangerous foreign national. This is a common sense provision that creates safer streets for every American and closes a gaping loophole in current law. But if we want to talk about how these determinations are often being made, we hear rhetoric about gang tattoos. Let's look at this gang tattoo here. 666 on the forehead of an illegal alien, Antonio Israel Lazo Quintanilla.
Crazy, right here.
I simply do not want an illegal alien with 666 tattooed on his forehead in my country, and I don't think that most Americans would disagree with me there.
I agree with you, sir.
As we've talked about earlier, this law does comport with due process. There are opportunities for illegal aliens to appeal decisions, deportation decisions, but if Democrats would like to explain why this illegal alien with 666 tattooed on his forehead should be given free reign in the interior of our country, they are welcome to. And with that, Mr. Chair, I yield back.
Yeah, explain that.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from California.
It's coming.
I yield back on my time.
The video's
gentleman from
coming. Here we
California is
go.
recognized.
One day we'll
Yep. Here we
reconcile, Mr. Chairman, the richness of an Ivy League investment banker, Nepo congressman telling us that we need to get rid of the people who pick our food, wash our cars, build our homes, enrich our communities. We'll get to that. But today, this legislation is about making it easier for
Texas was Texas, not Mexico. Texas was Texas. Mexican government was abusing the farmers in Texas. The Texans asked the United States of America if they can unite, and they wanted protection. And the United States said yes. come on over. And that's how the Texans became free and became part of the United States of America. Mexican government has been known to be cruel to their own people. We have a lot of rebellions against the government of Mexico because of the mistreatment of the people, the power abuse that they always have. The corrupted dominate the hardworking citizens of Mexico. That's why Pancho Villa rebelled against them. Pancho Villa was a mestizo. He was a farmer who decided to stand up for his farm and his neighbors, and many people joined them, and they threw the Mexican government down, and that they fought for freedom. Those are the people that you should be really thinking about. And that's the kind of people that I believe are really true Mexicans, not the cowards that came to this country illegally. Not just because they were looking for work to do, but because they were criminals running from the law. They come over here to deal drugs, sell drugs. Not everybody comes to this country with a clean sheet, with a clean record. Many of them become drunks and alcoholics. Many DUIs for a lot of illegal immigrants. And I'm talking about my Latinos. It is true. It is true. Getting pulled over all the time. I still see them on the freeway. Opening beer in the freeway. Drinking while they're driving. They don't care. That's why they invented a little Coca-Cola cover where you put your Modelo Negro in there and then you put the Coca-Cola thing and they pretend to be drinking Coca-Cola. They still do. About 90% of the illegal Mexicans that I personally know, have done that. Very few don't. And to those, my hat off. Some of them that I know actually became pastors in the church. Totally turned their lives around. But they all have those habits.
To remove more of our friends and neighbors. And I guess the question I have is it really that hard for you right now? Is there anything that's getting in your way from just lawlessly going into our communities and detaining Americans?
John Kroger. I'm gonna tell you, not many people will make me laugh when somebody's trying to put a fast one on me. All right, I'm gonna show you this one time, okay? I'm gonna show you just one. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, man. John Kroger, man, you're the man. You're the man. I like it. Fine, I'll show you one time what it is. One time, okay? Oh, that was funny, dude. That was funny. I got tears. Good observation. I like it. You caught that because of what I'm saying with the drinks and beer. I like it. Very well done, sir. Well done.
American citizens terrorizing women as masked bandits who are not identified, run through the streets, chase people through fields, go into car washes, go to Home Depot parking lots. Like, are you having a difficult time just ripping people away from their families, and you think you need more abilities to do it? Also,
hold on there, fake Will. Listen, you can John Kroger, I will buy you a beer just for that, man. Listen, I know that you're gonna tell me that I'm being prejudiced, but I will tell you this. If there is any Mexicans in this chat, whether they're legal or illegal, I will ask this question. Is it true what I say about Mexicans and drinking? They will not make me a liar, even if they're against me. This is what Mexicans do. This is what it means to be a real macho, a real man in Mexico. Drink tequila, Modelo Negro, or Coronas. That's what real men in Mexico do. It's the culture. You don't have to like it. It's a culture. It's what they do, okay? So I'm not being prejudiced. Ask any Mexican, and they will tell you that. Look at their heroes. Look at the most important people in their history of heroes. They all drink tequila. They all get the Cinco de Mayo celebration every weekend. It is the truth. And the problem, Crimson, is that they think, because they drink so much, they think, oh, it's just a six-pack. I feel normal. I feel fine. They get on the vehicle, and yes, they drive. See, there's one right there. Yep. I'm telling you, it's not that I hate Mexicans. Absolutely not. On the contrary, I think Mexicans are very strong and very good people. But I am telling you right now, that is the culture. That is the culture. It's still there, Jorge. Now, you may not drink anymore because you probably got old and didn't become an alcoholic, but that is the macho way. It is what it is. Seva knows. She knows what's up. No, of course not. But my point is, whether you drink and drive, okay, that's horrible by itself. But the fact that you might be illegal and get pulled over, that's what's going to happen. As soon as you get pulled over, number one, you're putting people's life at risk, right? But the second is, they're going to find out that you are illegal, and, well, that's going to get you deported. Liberty says, so I guess it's better for America's families line, who has put their life on the line, but it's wrong when a undocumented father is proud for his sons or to service this country as a thanks for this country. So here's the problem with that argument, okay? If let's say, for example, number one, I don't know this whole story about this guy. I don't know if he's a citizen, naturally born citizen here or what. Here is the argument. It doesn't matter if you serve in the military, okay? It doesn't matter. If you became a veteran by serving in the military, first of all, let me tell you something. A lot of people sign up for the military because of the money, okay? They sign up because of the money, not because of the love for this country, not because they are willing to go die for this country. No, they're willing to go die for the money, okay? Now, I'm not going to take any honor from anybody, okay? We're still going to honor them because it's still a sacrifice regardless, and it benefits our country. But besides that, why didn't he apply for papers for his parents before he went over there to shame the country by serving the country? That's not the shame that because he's serving. What shame is knowing that his parents are illegal. He's serving the country supposedly out of being a patriot, a man who fights for the laws and for the peace and the freedom of this country, while harboring illegal immigrants in his own house. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the way that it is. I'm going to tell you, if I have a family member here that is illegal and ICE comes in, hey, sir, yeah, he's right there in the room. I'm going to unlock it for you. Yeah, you got it. It is what it is. Your time's up. The gig is up. It has nothing to do with you're my friend or you're my family. It is the law. It is the law. If you're an American citizen or a resident and you're fighting for your country, your first duty, apply for papers for your parents if that's what needs to be done. If not, send them back to their country and you can support them. You can send them money from your pay and the military, from the taxpayers' dollars, and send some to your parents up in the country, wherever they're from. I blame those people that think that because they serve in the military, they automatically owed citizenship. No, that's not how it works. I believe you have to be at least a resident. And then, if you complete your military service, then you're given citizenship. But the fact that your parents are illegal, you serving the country doesn't mean that you're going to go and grab your parents and make them legal. That's not how it works. So if you totally believe that you're being a patriot by serving in the military, the first thing you should have done It's send your parents back home where they came from. Send them money. Make sure they got food. Make sure the rent is paid. Make sure that they're taken care of. Go serve the country and put in them papers for them to become residents, for Pete's sakes. It's not that hard. You see what I'm saying? Liberty says, yeah, I get it. Let's honor those Marines by making their father feel miserable. It's not about making them feel miserable. When he is done. So here's the thing. Love is tough. Love is tough, and it needs a lot of discipline. I want to tell you what I would do. I would serve in the military if I was a young man. I would serve in the military, and I would have came back and I would have asked the president, Mr. President, please, allow my parents to be here with me. I serve in the military. I follow the rules. I behaved. I will die for this country. Can I please have my parents come back to me? And that's it. Go through the process. If they are found in good conscience and in goodwill that they deserve to be here, they can be here. It's that simple. Now, for many of you guys here that hate me because I say the truth, it is what it is. And just so you know, if I was in office, I would go and fight for a lot of undocumented illegal immigrants that we have here in Washington State, but not for the reasons you think. Everybody needs a full background check. Drugs, alcohol, misdemeanors, all of that thing. If there's something in there, they got to go. There would be no sanctuary city in my state. I'll tell you that right now. The law will prevail, and the law will be respected, and the law will be followed. If police officers step out of line, they will have their punishment, but not when they're in self-defense. People that are out there inciting violence by yelling in their faces and testing their nerves, you deserve a slap in the face to shut the hell up. Respect authority. Respect your neighbors. Don't be a jerk. All right, let's go finish so that we can watch the fake video that they're going to put on here, and I'll explain the video if you haven't seen this.
Quite interesting that you're asking for more legal authorities because you don't even follow the laws that are on the books right now. So what are we doing here, I guess, is my first question. But the American people are telling you, get the hell out of our homes, our streets, and our lives. And I want to play a video, Mr. Chairman, that illustrates that.
I was going to school.
When the spray hit Veraza on the side of his head.
Mama, you okay, Mama? You okay? Are you okay?
Just so you know, every single one of them are resisting arrest. They're putting their children in danger, number one, but they're resisting arrest.
He's a citizen!
They do not have a warrant. They forcefully open the door.
No resistance. What am I doing? Kevin! Hey, get on the ground! I love you, let me go!
It says, not resisting as he keeps pushing his arms away, right? You see that big lady? She actually swung on one of them. I remember that video. Yep.
Get back, I'm gonna shoot you. You're gonna what? You're gonna
I'll shoot you. Stay away. That's right. Respect the law. They think, no, that's not extreme. Respect the law. Get the hell out the way. It's very simple. They're lucky they don't get beat up. Respect the law. Let them do their job. No, I'm not an embarrassment. I believe in respecting the law. If you didn't know, that guy right there having a seizure is fake. He's not having a seizure. He faked it. And the reason why he faked it is because the wife had a warrant for her arrest. Respect the law. That's right. Stop the video right there. Right there. Because you feel that you have already won all the people by playing with their emotions, by playing with their feelings. But the fact of the matter is that these people, and they have pictures of who they're looking for, they go after them for whatever reason, any misdemeanor. As I said, if you don't behave, if you get caught using fake papers, that is fraud, and that is a felony. That is time in jail and deportation if you are illegal. It is that simple. I really hate it when people say, I'm not resisting. Get your hands off me. I'm not resisting. Don't touch me. That is resisting. That is resisting. Oh, my children. You guys remember that picture of that lady wiping the spray off their son with the Mexican flag? Oh, how dramatic. Who should I be upset at? The police trying to keep order, or that woman for bringing that child into that protest? Knowing that protests can become riots. Why would you put your children on there? You know why? Because you're hoping that they get hurt so that you have your moment of a picture so that you can talk bad about our government. And I don't play that. I've seen it happen way too much. Bullcrap. Lucky I'm not a police officer. I would have beat that guy up. You don't even have the right to approach a mailman, a federal worker. You don't have a right to approach them while they have mail that they are delivering. Did you know that? You can get arrested for that. And that's just the mailman. These people are endangering their own children by resisting arrest. No, the victim card doesn't work. Respect the law. As I said, everybody, even this moron right here. Oh, look at him. He has a seizure. No, he faked it. But they don't show you that part. You guys got to think for yourself, man. Go do some research. Stop being dumb. There is over 21 million illegal immigrants in this country that are going to talk shit about us. They're going to call me sellout. They're going to call me coconut. They're going to tell me all of this stuff. 21 million. And I heard it was more. But 21 million illegal immigrants is enough to populate at least 32 to 34 states. That should worry you. That should worry you. Respect the law.
The American people were promised that the most violent individuals would be removed. And instead, we've been given this. You even deported.
And number one, the whole idea was we're going to deport the criminal and violent illegal immigrants and everybody else that is illegal. But they're going to prioritize. They never say they're just going to deport the criminals. No, everybody's a criminal by breaking the law coming to this country. But they were going to focus on hardcore criminals first. Yeah, where's your empathy for the people that got raped, for the people that got killed? Where's your empathy for that? Where's the empathy for the 800,000 Americans that died because of illegal immigrants, cartel drug dealers, and all these other people being in this country? Where's your empathy for those people? Where is your self of urgency to protect this nation? Where is your American patriotism? Where is that empathy? When are you going to stand up and defend the people of this country? Or is this not your country? If it's not your country, I understand 100% why you're there and why you think that way. But the rest of us that love this country will keep stepping up and we'll keep fighting for the truth. And we'll keep fighting for the American people to get their benefits, to get their freedom, and to get their prosperity, and for them to get the American dream fulfilled. You think illegal immigrants are over here helping this country? No, they're taking away the American dream for many Americans. Let's not forget that one person in a family used to be able to go to work and own their house and take care of their family. Now you got both parents working, living paycheck to paycheck. Housing is off through the roof because of illegal immigration. The demand has become so high because of millions of illegal immigrants need housing. And where does that put the American people? I wish the Democrats would put America first. Look at his face. It's a fake. He almost laughs at the lie that he's telling. This degenerate is the same guy that was sleeping with a Chinese spy. Now he defends criminal illegal immigrants? When is he going to stand up for his country? When is he going to stand up for the American people? Somebody has to say the truth.
A child, U.S. citizen fighting cancer. You deported Miguel Lopez, my constituent, who's been in the country for almost 30 years.
So now he cares about a child that has fought cancer. Where were they at when the president was announcing the child that wanted to be a police officer that went through how many surgeries because of cancer and tumors or something like that? Where were the Democrats? All of them sitting down, holding signs, liar, liar, liar. You remember that? I remember that. Every single one of those Democrats. Now all of a sudden they care? Where were they for the rape victims? Where were they for the women that got killed by illegal criminal immigrants? They all sat down holding signs, liars, liars, liars. You remember that? I remember that. We don't forget.
Worked at a local winery, sent his kids to the high school in my hometown. And he showed up to his immigration proceeding following the law.
That's right.
And he was picked up by ICE and sent to Mexico. And every Sunday night, his wife Rosa and their family look at an empty chair where Miguel used to sit for 30 years with his family. What did we get out of that? Who's better off because Miguel, who was following the law, is not in our community? But earlier this month, the American people from Virginia to New Jersey to Pennsylvania, all the way out to California, sent a message that a reckoning is on its way, that accountability is coming. And this lawlessness that's gone unchecked, a lot's going to change.
Do you want me to play that video again? Because it's the wife that is on top of that child. She didn't care for the safety of her child. Did you watch that part of the video? Or did you miss it? She was on top of her child. The child was between her and her husband, and she was on top of him, suffocating the child because she didn't want to get arrested. Yeah, okay. That probably wasn't even her kid anyway.
The masks are going to come off. Officers will identify themselves. And Kristi Noem and Tom Homan, you should familiarize yourself with the four corners of this room. Kristi Noem and Tom Homan, get to know that witness chair. You're going to be parked in it for a long time.
You're going to get to know the four corners of the jail prison. You're going to be there for a long time. You will be found out, you liar.
You're going to have a lot of questions under oath with the subpoena power. And I hope what you're doing is clean and can withstand.
We'll get to the religious part. There's almost a couple more seconds here. We'll get to the religious part.
The scrutiny that everyone on this side of the aisle is going to bring. You think we won't do it. You think you're invincible. You're wrong. Accountability is coming. You've got about a year, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The committee will stand. We'll come to you when we come back.
There you go. All right, go ahead and bring religion into it. So, all the people on the Democratic Party, all of them, make fun of God, make fun of Jesus. They support men in women's bathrooms, in women's sports. All Democrats support LGBTQ, sexual immorality, abomination to God. All Democrats, including you who fight against me on this channel, who judge me of some sort of fake Christian, all of you support all immorality, sexual perversion, and you have the nerves to come over here and question my belief? You got another thing coming. The Bible says to love your neighbor as you love yourselves. As I've said many times, I would not be in this country illegally. So I tell everybody what I would tell myself. Do not come to this country illegally. We had a couple of chances. We were denied entry to this country. We tried again. We did a full background check. We did a whole health check. We proved to the United States Embassy Consul consulate, that we will not be dependent on the government while we're in this country, that we have means to support ourselves. And we did it. And we got permission to come here. So yes, I love people as I love myself. And you know what? Nobody is harder on me than I am. I can guarantee you that. I punish myself greatly. There's nothing you can do to me to punish me more than what I already punish myself when I make mistakes. You have no moral values, and you dare to call me a Christian. A fake one at that. Where's your empathy for the actual victims? Where's your love for your neighbor? Don't you love your neighbor? You should be against illegal immigration. How many women get raped on the way here? 400,000 children were trafficked into this country. Where was your love for your neighbor then? Many people, you see millions of people in here, and thousands of them die on the way here. Where is your empathy for that? Why would you support illegal immigration when you know that's happening? Where's your love for your neighbor? You dare to judge me for telling people to follow the law, respect the land, respect the people in the land? You have no idea what you're talking about. You try to bring the Bible to me when Jesus says respect the law of the land. It is God that warned you that having a government, having a king, he will rule over you. He will tell you what to do. He will put rules and laws that you have to follow. And the human beings said, yes, we want that. Nah, don't bring religion to my face. And you better be practicing it if you're going to say something. But the moment that you are defending all these illegal criminals in this country, you are failing your country. See, I know there's millions of illegal immigrants. Of course they're going to jump on my chat. Of course they're going to come in here hating. And then some of those sympathizers are going to step and defend them. That's right. Jesus is coming back, Sixto. He is coming back. And he's going to say, what did you do? Did you respect the law of the land, as I told you? Did you love your neighbor as I loved you? Did you tell them the truth even though it was going to hurt? Did you know that Jesus called Peter Satan? Jesus called Peter Satan. Go ahead. Bring Christianity again. Bring the Bible up. Give me another verse. Give me something. Go ahead. I dare you contradict what I say. I stand firm on what I say because I believe it to be the truth. So go on. Tell me, why did Jesus go into the temple and start whipping people, turning tables over? Why did he get mad at everybody? Wasn't he supposed to be loving? Wasn't he supposed to be quiet and just? No, that's righteous anger. When somebody's breaking the law, when somebody is not doing something right, something that is bad, that is sinful, Jesus is not smiling at you. God isn't. He gets angry. He's a very jealous God. He's not just loving. You get loving when you behave. You get loving when you do good. You get wrath when you're bad. And that's the truth. The only difference with us is that we are not the ones that judge you into hell. We are not the ones that are going to punish you, physically punish you. It's God that's going to do that. But then you will lament. Then you will say, oh my gosh, I should have listened. Then, I should have done this. It's too late. Better me yell at you than God judge you and punish you. I can tell you that right now. I love it when people try to use the Bible just as the devil does every single time that he wants to destroy people. How dare you? You better ask for forgiveness. Better ask for forgiveness. That's right. And I speak for myself. And that's right. So you don't get to tell me that I'm a Christian or not. No, Robert, you don't have to be scared. It's not about scaring you. This is the truth that I'm telling you. And don't worry. Everybody's time comes over, right? A lot of ignorant people decide to threaten my life in here. Oh, here we go. I just saw who I'm looking for. And with that being said, and my eyes are tired. I can barely see. DOA, don't think that I don't know what you said about me and your threats. Bye, DOA. It was nice knowing you in my chat. There's one more I'm looking for. As soon as I see you, that's what you get from me. You don't get a hello this time. You just get a bye. That's right. We've been waiting for him, and there's one more. Don't worry. It's coming. Everybody's going to know who that person is. Don't ever come and threaten my life. I don't threaten your life. I tell you, God's going to punish you, not me. We are not that kind of people. We will fight for our country. Yeah, I wasn't going to tell nobody, but well, I'm glad. They just never fail. Those kind of trolls that don't come over here to try to talk with me or make sense. No. No. You threaten my life, you go into the FBI, just so you know. And I hope that you know how to cover your tracks, because they will find your ass. Everybody else, I want to say thank you so much for your support. Liberty, you are still the boss of the stream chat. Now, for all of you haters that don't like Trump, that are not for MAGA, and don't respect Americans' rights first above everybody else, I don't care. Everybody else, get jiggy with it. The boss, el jefe, el patron, President Donald Trump. El Trumpo is my daddy. And that's right, I said it. So what? The GOAT, that's right. So just so you guys know, we're going to switch gears a little bit over here. Enough preaching. I'm not in this channel to preach. We're going to talk some religion, some politics, etc. But that's not the main point. You get to hear religion when somebody brings it up. Oh, I love it when they do it because they think they know something because somebody taught them a couple of scriptures, but they never really studied the Bible. And that's why they fail. They can never come at me with anything. God gives us wisdom and the words to speak when we need to use those words. And that's what I believe, and that's why I talk the way I talk. And that's why you guys are here today. Some of you love me. Some of you hate me. Some of you support me. Some of you wish my channel to be shut down. Whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. Let's not mix religion with politics. Both are wrong on the wrong minds. Pick one without the other. The second you do, you're losing. Well, that's the thing, my friend. Many will hate me for speaking the truth, and the truth does not comply to politicians or to politics or to religion. Truth goes everywhere. It goes into friendships, relationships, agreements, deals, diplomacies, laws. Truth is everywhere, and it needs to be taught. It just happens to be that truth aligns with God. God's love and truth is the same. Thank you, Double D. Appreciate you. And I do believe on the Constitution, except a lot of you people out there believe that the Constitution belongs to the world. No, the Constitution belongs to the United States of American citizens. We, the people, is not migrants. We, the people, is not illegal immigrants. There's only a couple of clapses in the Constitution, and that goes with anybody that is born in this country. Think about this. Think about this. A diplomat that has immunity in our country, a foreign diplomat that comes to our country has immunity of everything. Thank you, Ziva. Has immunity of everything. They're not allowed their children to be American citizens if they are born in this land. Guess what? Illegal immigrants have even less rights than that. And yet, Democrats fight that they are citizens of this country with illegal parents. I will tell you my story. When I became an American citizen in this country, I found out something very, very special. I found out that this country, the Constitution, believes that the nationality, the citizenship of the children of those who become American citizens turns into American citizenship, pending a paternity test, of course. Imagine that. The Constitution allows me, by becoming an American citizen, to make any child that I may have made anywhere in the world to also be an American citizen automatically because I am an American citizen. Well, guess what I think? If you're an illegal immigrant and you have children here and you're still illegal, they are not American citizens. They are your nationality. So before you think that you can come into this country and make anchor babies, think again. Stay in your country. If you don't have permission to come into this country, don't come here illegally. And if you do, remember the consequences. You will get deported. And if you make children here, you are responsible for families being separated, not the country that has the laws in place to do that. Does that make sense? Let me see. Maybe some of you guys might understand here. Let's see. Rush Babe, I'm going to go to my members. Rush Babe, the Constitution is not a suicide contract. That is correct. We are not going to allow our enemies or foreigners, aliens, to come into our country and destroy our economy for due process bullcrap. That's right. Constitution belongs to the American people, not to the foreigners. And as I said, if a diplomat cannot have an American citizen while they're born in this country, neither can illegal immigrants. And I give you the best example that I can give you, that when I became an American citizen, any child of mine, pending a paternity test, will automatically become an American citizen because my citizenship determines my children's citizenship. How about them apples? Crimson, you dig, is still arguing. They aren't. The 14th doesn't give foreign diplomats children's citizenship. That's what I said. It doesn't. It doesn't. That's what I said. The text is subject to the jurisdiction thereof, which diplomats are not. It's simple. And so are illegals. This is not their jurisdiction. The jurisdiction belongs to the nationality that they have citizenship to. Exactly. That is exactly what I'm saying. When you read subject to the jurisdiction thereof, who does their loyalty belong to? To their country of birth. That's where that citizenship lies. A minor does not have rights over an adult. If you're a minor, you cannot vote. If you're a minor, you're not allowed to go into war. If you're a minor, you cannot live on your own. Therefore, you don't get to be an American citizen. Oh, I'm sorry to bust your bubble. Now, anybody, any illegal immigrant that has come here and has made children, you will get deported if you get caught. And you're not going to get to blame the United States for that. That's your responsibility. That's your fault. Now, if you happen to get papers and become a resident and then become a citizen, then your children are legitimate American citizens. But until then, as long as you are illegal, it is null. They have no citizenship in the United States of America. It's a fact. I'm not making it up. It's there. You just said it. What was the other part of my oath to the United States of America? I had to swear, I had to make an oath that I would renounce to my previous government, to the ruling, to everything, freed of my loyalty to that country, and that now I will abide by the rules and the laws of this country, and that I will respect and honor all of them, and that I always defend this country in any way that I can possibly defend this country. I made that oath, and I plan on keeping it. The 14th Amendment doesn't even include blacks or females, nor people from another country. But hey, here we are. Exactly. But you have to understand that that's the reason why it was amended. Because the blacks were not considered citizens. Let's not forget, they were looked at as animals in some states. Not all of them, but in some states. And so that Constitution, the amendment, allows them to become citizens. And that's different. And see, Democrats grab that for illegal immigrants. But if the slaves, even if the free black men, even if they were slaves, the fact that they are already here in this country, that are working, and they have a contract with a slave owner, or if they're free, they're already here. They got more rights than anybody coming here illegally. I know, it sounds horrible, but it's the truth. Does it not make sense? Does anybody agree with that? Do you listen your accent, American citizens? Miguel Jauregui, at least make an effort to use right grammar before you try to insult me. It doesn't matter what accent we have. I find it very amazing that only, not some Americans do, I guess, but mostly illegal immigrants find my accent hard to understand. You natives are also American citizens. The difference is that you have reservations. Now, these reservations is your sovereignty, is your sovereign land. Here, I'm going to give you something for my native brothers here. Do you believe, it's a serious question, do you believe that all American natives belong to a tribe and have the rights to reservations in this country? Serious question. Thank you, Ziva. Serious question. There's a reason why I ask you that, okay? I myself, before you answer, I myself believe that all Native Americans deserve to have their sovereign land, their reservations, okay? I believe that. Now, let me see if anybody believes the same. Okay, Missy says yes. Okay, great. I will say that all Native Americans believe that in my chat here tonight. But let me tell you what's happening. The Chinook tribe, the Chinook Native Americans here in Washington State, they are not recognized. They don't have their reservation. They're not recognized, even though they're Native Americans, they're not recognized. You know why? The Indian tribunal here does not recognize them as an actual tribe, even though they've been here for way before anybody else in the Columbia River. They are not recognized. Therefore, they don't get the benefits that Indians get. And if you're offended very easily, Indian means Native American. It means God's people. Think about that. Our own Indian tribes, tribunal, council, I think it's called. I got to find out the name. I will get the name right one day. They don't find a lot of Native Americans, at least that claim to be Native Americans. They don't allow them on the Indian reservations. When they say I'm Native American, that doesn't mean shit to the Indian tribunal state. Yeah, it is. Very. It is. Now, I will tell you this, and I know people laugh at this, right? But if I do get a chance to run for office, I'm going to fight for Native Americans. Number one, they're my priority. Number two is my veterans. Number three is going to be my farmers. I'm trying to make a list here. Number four, we're getting rid of sanctuary cities, and we are deporting every single criminal alien that we have in this state, every single one of them. Now, those that don't have a prior on their record, in a way, we're going to protect them. We're going to vouch for them. We're going to run some backgrounds on them. And those who have been hardworking, that have a good, clean record, hey, by all means, I want them all to be legal. Now, I wouldn't be able to get them to be legal. That is something that has to go through Congress. But I will definitely fight for them so that they all can become legal. There is a lot of people. Now, I know you guys only hear the bad things about me when I talk about illegal immigration. But there's a lot of people that are illegal that deserve to have papers in here, especially because they really love the United States of America. They really do. Okay? Mexico's not perfect, and I think that we got to do something about it. Okay? Yes, 100% we have to, on somehow, to show our natives that we are not those people who did them wrong. That's right. Well, let's also acknowledge that they were also doing wrong things to each other. Let's not forget the Comanche and the Apaches fighting each other. Remember the Apaches scalping people? That's right, the Comanches was one of the strongest Indian tribes, and they were conquering all the weak Indian tribes. They fought this land. They migrated here, but they fought for this land. They fought to get the hunting grounds. They fought so that they can have, they can conquer other tribes. They did all that. And on top of that, there's that witchcraft thing that they used to do in some native cultures. Not all of them, some of them. You have to understand, Native Americans, or Indians as I call myself and them, we're very spiritual people. We believe to be in touch with nature. My Navajo natives over here in Washington State and the other tribes here in Washington State, they believe in spirit animals. They believe the forest talks to them. They believe the oceans are a blessing to them, and they respect it. That's right, Ziva. I'm telling you, it is what it is. So there's people that are always going to hate, and they're always going to stand against people that want to follow the law and rules and regulations. Yeah, I know what you said, Ziva. That's exactly what I thought you understood. That there's a rule in the res. There's a rule for all Native Americans here. It doesn't matter what age you are. You have to have a tribal ID. If you don't have that, they don't care who your parents are. They will put your ass in jail, and then they'll figure out if you really are Native American of that tribe. That's how that works. Don't get it twisted. Don't be confusing Hollywood movies and TV series to be true Native American history. Those movies and shows are to play with your emotions. You see, there's good and bad people on both sides. Yeah, Ziva knows. There's an enrollment. Paulie, you don't even know anything about our Native history over here in America. I have lots of love and respect for Native Americans. And I can tell you, I have a lot of family, well, not family, but I have a lot of friends that consider me family in the Navajo Nation. Down in Arizona. And they tell me that illegal Mexicans are infiltrating the res and pretending to be Native Americans. So now you have the police, the federales, coming in there to the reservations, and now the young Native Americans are afraid for their lives because they say the white man is racist. But they don't know the truth. Illegal immigrants are invading reservations as well. Hey, a lot of them, they look Native. Let's not forget, they were here before as well. Very fascinating, isn't it? All right, let's see. So Jacob says, so Coley says exactly. So when the boats came over here, they slaughtered buffalo infected with smallpox and wanted us to assimilate to their ways. I'm a direct descendant of the Santana Kiowa warrior. Oh, congratulations, bro. Let me see. Is that your picture? Is that your picture on your profile, Coley? Yeah. If that's you in the picture, you look native mixed with black, with African descent. Is that right? So you're about a 50% Native American descent. Liberty for all. Thanks for the chat, brother. Appreciate your love. Whatever they did to each other or they believe, it was others disagree, but times has changed. Exactly. And we started criticizing the past, we blah, blah, blah. We weren't perfect and we deserve justice. I think is what you're trying to say, right, brother? And too many Coronas or Modelos over there with liberty for all. It's getting late. It's probably on the 12-pack already. Probably got to go to another run to the store. Yeah. So, if when I say illegal immigration is horrible for our country, it is. You see, there's a lot of other things that we need to concentrate and focus on. Like I have some disagreements with Native Americans when they're like, "Oh, this land is sacred." Well, you want your people to die? Do you want prosperity to come through here? We got to make some sacrifices, and of course, we got to take care of our rivers, our lakes, our environment. 100%, I'm with you on that, and that it's okay. I agree with that, but we also have to know that, Coley, for example, for you, my brother, when we say assimilate, it's not forget your culture. It's not forget where you come from. Assimilate in a way of, okay, listen, do you want to still live in a tipi, or do you want to have a house with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms? That's where we're at. That's the kind of civilization that we are today. So do you want to assimilate, or do you want to stay in the old ways? You see what I'm saying? Josh, I am a migrant that became an American citizen. That is we, if you don't understand. I like how people try to disown everything that I have, everything that I am. Guys, don't come with ignorant stuff, bro. If you don't know me, stop asking dumb questions. You see my light skin on the light and everything, and you're already judging me for that. You don't know me. You don't know me. See, that's the problem with you people. That's the problem with you people. You guys are prejudiced. You guys are racist. You got to have a certain look in order for you to say somebody belongs here. But the moment that the ICE says you got to have a certain look for us to find you questionable if you're legal in this country or not, then you have a problem. But the moment that somebody wants to be compared to other people, now you have a problem. You see the hypocrisy on that? So I got to look at a certain way in order for you to understand that I am this part, and I can look a certain way to understand that I'm here illegally. It's the same thing. Your chat speak American. I don't even know if you speak English, bro. That doesn't make sense to me. The chat speaks English. That's what I believe. Yeah, Ziba, they're assuming. So, and it's just like, and it's okay. I understand that because the ignorance is everywhere. So I am a half native Indian in Honduras, not in North America. But the fact remains, we are spiritual towards the land, and we believe in that. This is why I love nature. I don't love mosquitoes or snakes, let's be clear. But everything else, I love. They are doing things over here that, things like the buffaloes, right? They want to bring buffaloes back. Okay, let's help with that. If we stop being invaded by illegal immigrants, and if we have an actual conversation with native tribes so that we can work together instead of this, oh no, we are just holier than thou and we don't need you, white man, and you oppressed us and you destroyed us, etc. It is funny, and I'm sorry if this offends a lot of you guys in here, because I know you guys, there's a lot of natives that come into my chat, okay? But you can't say, and this is what I tell people all the time, you can't say, for example, you can't say rich people need to pay their fair share. Rich people are evil. Oh, rich people are bad because they have billions of dollars. Oh, rich people. Listen. You cannot say the government is horrible, the white man is this and that, and you cannot put people down, and then you say we depend 100% on the federal government. You just can't do that. So if you depend 100% on the government for money and protection, shouldn't you be willing to adapt some new things into your culture? That's assimilating. You don't have to give up your culture. You don't have to give up your language. Okay, so you live in Arizona, so you know that the Navajo tribes are down there. The Navajo Nation is in Arizona, right? I listen to the high chiefs. I listen to the professors in the reservation. And my question is always, well, if you depend 100% on the government, why don't we work together so that we can make a better country? Native Americans, for Pete's sakes, this is your country. We agree, we acknowledge. But we are now all people in one country, so let's work together and put the hate aside and forgive the past and continue moving forward. How many people in here love the powwows? Thank you, Liberty. Just to everyone who make a comment or a question, all you guys suck. And lucky that Dennis answered you for free. It's okay, Liberty. It's all good, brother. Don't worry about it. So for the only people that are excused in here, of course, there's this kind of people that I excuse in my chats. Those who support me, you're not a member, but you're a subscriber, but you support me, okay? That's right, Coley. I love that. Let's do it, brother. The second people that I love in my chat, in my channel, of course, is members. You guys make a monthly commitment to support me, and I appreciate that, right? This is what I do for a living. And then there's people that, I don't know if they're subscribers or not, but they come in here and they put positive feedback. They give something. Yes. Oh, Ziva, that's nice. Oh, I love powwows. I tell you that right now. I love powwows. There's something special about it, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a sucker. I see certain ceremonies, and I get teary. It's not a joke. It's not a joke at all. I get very emotional with certain things that make me happy, very joyful. My wife is witness of that. I am a sucker. When she's good to me, I melt. That's just how it works. The more she supports me, the better man I become. And that's just a fact. All right? So that's what I think. The other one is people that I don't appreciate. Okay? If you remember, you support me monthly. If you do Super Chats, Liberty for All, for example, he supports me a lot with Super Chats. He disagrees with me on a lot of things, but it's legit questions. Legit questions. And you guys will notice if somebody insults me and they put a Super Chat, I'll pause what I'm doing and read it, because that is also supporting me. See, some people know how it works. You want to have your voice heard, be patient. If you want me to stop for something, you got to put a Super Chat on there, and then I'll stop. But you notice, like a Liberty for All says, you guys are lucky that I answer all these free questions. because I love doing that. It's a good thing, you know. You know what, Coley? I believe that you have some native pride in you, and I like that. Ziva, I can't even say anything for you. If you're dancing and you do that, that means that you partition. You're part of the tradition, and that is awesome. That is phenomenal. Dave says you're an uneducated rube. Oh, man. Misinformation. Yes, we need to censor Dennis because he's saying mean words that I don't like. Kevin. That's funny. Man, you guys are all amazing, but it is 10 o'clock at night, and I got to get up early. I got to get up at 5, guys, and I haven't even wrapped up. So I want to say thank you all to all of you guys for joining today. Lots of new subscribers. You're welcome, Ziwa. Credit given where credit's due. That's what I say. All right? So that's what I'm sticking with. Tomorrow we'll see what news we have in the morning. Don't worry. We'll wear a different hat. Have a good night, guys. I appreciate you guys for being here with me today. I know, you know the saying. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me tonight, and I appreciate you. Guys, I will leave you with some beats. You guys have a good night. You all be blessed. 1,